Here with reaction, ClimateDepot.com executive editor Marc Morano. Marc, it is the failure of the EPA at East Palestine, but then what it is doing with the EV mandate, forcing Americans to drive electric vehicles in 8 years, but also requiring the rules on steel mills and iron foundries, paper, cement, glass, iron, chemical manufacturers. These are job destroyers. That's its mission, not protecting people.
And this is sad. The people of East Palestine, Ohio, have been wronged by this EPA, and severely wronged. What's happened here is, when I worked in the U.S. Senate Environment and Public Works Committee, we had the names of left-wing scientists and professors from academia who called it the corporate climate coup. So the EPA has basically been hijacked to fight climate change, which you could actually look at some of the words of the testimony there from the courtroom. This is the billionaire class buying our federal regulatory agencies and doing all these schemes, which is only going to benefit a few of the corporations, more monopolies. And so what's happened here is, with them hijacking of the environmental movement, real environmental issues like East Palestine get brushed aside. There's accusations that you showed there of whistleblowers saying the EPA is lying, falsifying data, not being transparent, and leaving the residents high and dry. But hey, they're going to go after power plants for CO2 emissions. They're going to go after gas-powered cars. They're going to go after our food supply next. The EPA is focusing on methane emissions. And that's what John Kerry, before he retired, wanted to go after, going after meat production. So the EPA has a lot of other work to do. Doesn't have time for no stinking toxic plume in East Palestine, Ohio.
So it's interesting because Kamala Harris is trying to run on resurrecting the manufacturing industry in America. Yeah. She says there's already been a boom, which there hasn't been. We've been in a decline, but she wants to bring it back. And at the same time, part of manufacturing is energy, and whether it's coal-powered plants, it's drilling, or it's natural gas, the EPA is going after all of our energy sources under this climate mandate. And I guess I wonder, in your opinion, in West Virginia v. the EPA can't overstep its congressional mandate. Is there room here for lawsuits to push back on all these overburdensome regulations that are crushing the American economy and the American worker?
I mean, sure, there's always room for lawsuits, but even as we saw in East Palestine, the judge, these lawsuits either never make it, or the federal government has ways of making them go away. And yeah, you could do a lot of lawsuits, but I think the best is probably going to be the voting box this November to actually make an effect. You can't have long-term lawsuits. They have to be well-funded. You need the best lawyers. You got to go for years going through a bureaucracy. But the real picture here, this is, there's a historian of the 20th century, a Holocaust survivor, who talked about the totalitarian regimes, and he said they were trying to enforce magical beliefs through the bureaucracy. That's really what the Biden administration, with the entire net zero agenda, what Vice President Harris is trying to do, enforce these magical beliefs, whether it's on industry when it comes to climate change, when it comes to the EV mandate, we're going to have X mandate. She wanted 100% cars by 2035. Harris did in 2019. This is truly magical thinking.
Right. Well, that brings us to the next thing. Vice President Kamala Harris is now, the headline in the Wall Street Journal, I think, says, trying to tiptoe away from her EV mandate. Her campaign saying that she no longer supports one. But the former president is sure to remind voters of her previous views, one of which you just mentioned, while Donald Trump campaigns in the key swing state of Michigan. You mentioned 2035. So initially she was co-sponsor of the Green New Deal. And it was in 2040 they were going to get rid of all gasoline-powered cars. Then later on, when she was running for the nomination, 2035, the date moved up. And she went as far as to say she would get rid of the filibuster in order to pass the Green New Deal. She would wipe it away, so it's not just abortion. She wants to uproot the Senate in order to force people to, destroy the energy business and automobile business in this country.
Yeah, and this is something that really began in earnest during the Obama administration. I called it the Chinification of America,
Yep.
where you just bypass democracy. That's what President Obama did with all the executive orders when he couldn't get his climate bill through Congress. Even Democrats, Al Franken, liberal Democrats, wouldn't vote for Obama's cap and trade bill by 2010. Harry Reid had to pull it from the Senate so they couldn't even vote on it. So they moved to this whole idea of the federal bureaucracy, executive orders. And so what Kamala Harris wants to do, the idea of the filibuster, is just another form of that. We want to bypass any form of traditional American democracy and impose this. That's also why they've talked openly about a climate emergency declaration, which would give them COVID-like emergency powers, 130 new powers. And so what we have to look at here when you're talking about these EV mandates is they are collapsing globally. Europe, United States, automakers don't want them. Sales aren't happening. So reality has to set in. This is a disaster for her. It is a huge election vulnerability.
No doubt. Mark, we got to run, but thank you for being on this topic. We love having you come on the show and
thanks a lot.
dispense some knowledge. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
Marc
Sean
Morano.
Dagan.